Pam likes to call me. Thank you so much for coming here today and supporting Pam and Karen's family and my family. It's, a terrible thing for all of us that Mark has died, and we all miss him. Part of me still thinks that he's going to walk in the door with his booming voice and funny laugh, but that's not to be. But I feel like the best way I can honor Mark is to take amazing care of my sister, who he loved so much. For those of you that don't know this, I have an old, elderly, ill mother, and every time, Pam was very, devoted to coming to see her, and every time she would come see her, she and Mark would constantly be on the phone, and many, many, many times a day, laughing, chatting. I'm like, weren't they just together a few hours ago? I mean, it was quite amazing. Every time she hung up, I always heard them say, "I love you," and it was a really beautiful love story. And yeah, I mean, I was very comforted by the fact that I knew that he loved you as much as he did, and that you loved him. When I think about him, I think what strikes me most is the things that I think about are the things that Mark loved. Mark, obviously loved my sister, loved his family, loved his friends, heard about art a million times over the years. And he had an incredible talent for cooking. He had a passion, and I am a pretty good cook, but he and Pam blew me out of the water completely. And I just remember, learning an incredible amount as a result of his talent and his interest. He used to tell me all about these, amazing chefs. One of his favorite chefs was a guy named Marco Pierre White, who he would, wax on about. And I learned a tremendous amount about cooking from Mark. And he would come in, particularly in the early days when he was doing lots of catering, and he would bring all these delicious things for us to eat. He made extraordinary dumplings that I think he was taught from a Chinese chef. Is that right?
Yep.
He made these Vietnamese spring rolls and summer rolls. He made this crazy dessert that we would all request whenever we had family get-togethers called Berries Under a Cloud, which was a combination of fruit and meringue that he used to brown with this andiron, or what was it?
It was a French iron.
French iron, and there was just sparkle and magic around everything that Mark did in the kitchen. It was really, really true. One holiday, he made a turducken. Pam and he made a turducken. I don't know if you guys know what a turducken is, but it's a chicken inside a duck inside a turkey, and you have to bone all three of these things. And I don't even remember what the stuffing was, but it was extraordinary. And I think it's so important in life to have passions, to have things that you get up in the morning for. And he just loved the culinary world. He loved being a chef. And it really defined him, that and his talent. And the other thing that defined him was, his willingness to give the shirt off his back to anybody that needed help. He was incredibly generous. In the earlier years, he worked full time. He had his own house, but he would come over here and help Stephen with the various projects that needed doing. And in earlier times, Stephen was really the landscaper, the gardener, the electrician. He did all of it himself. And Mark was invaluable in terms of helping Stephen. None of that is my forte. And, as deeply sad as I am about Mark's passing, I feel good about the fact that Pam has wonderful family and friends around her who will continue to tell stories about Mark and remember wonderful times with him and help to lift her up and help to get her through, what is, possibly the worst thing that has probably ever happened to my sister. And I love you all for being here. And Mark, if you're looking down, I'm sorry. But, I do believe that we go on in one shape or form after we die. And Mark, if you're looking down on us, we're going to take good care of your wife. So, you don't need to worry about that. I held it together pretty much to the end. I'm out, Madison.